Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It's your boy Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is cryptocurrency. And I gotta tell you what, guys, wow, what a crazy last couple of days it's been, right? I mean, gosh, this last week or so, with the whole USI tech thing going on for the US and Canada residents. Yesterday, got the word about Bitconnect um, coming to an end on the same day that, gosh, I mean, look what's going on with Bitcoin right now. It is on a serious pullback, right? So it's a crazy last couple of days, and I just wanted to shoot a quick video on Bitconnect and the lessons learned from Bitconnect. And I hope that I wanted to do this video to kind of give people a perspective on cryptocurrency as a whole, Bitconnect, and the platform that is a lending platform, and some takeaways from it, and how you guys can, kind of learn from this. Because in the end, if you don't learn from it, then it didn't do you any good. If you made money on a platform and you haven't learned from making money on this platform, then it didn't do you any good. And so the idea is to learn from this and to be able to move on and pivot and move on. And a question that I have for you guys is, what are your takeaways from Bitconnect? What are some of your takeaways? Leave that in the comments down there. Tell me some of your takeaways. We have a different perspective on what's going on with Bitcoin right now, with USI Tech and now Bitconnect. Our perspective is different. That we see any setback as an opportunity for a comeback. We see any kind of letdown as a way for us to win. So with the market going on, with Bitcoin and all the altcoins going down, do you see it as an opportunity to win? Here's what I do know. The savvy investors do. The savvy investors see what's going on, and you go to coinmarketcap.com and see all the red. They see as an opportunity to win, right? Warren Buffett is famous for saying, when everyone else is fearful, be greedy. And when everyone else is greedy, be fearful. And so, another term a lot of people like to use is weak hands, right? Do you have weak hands in moments like this? I do know, my personal opinion is, once the institutional money came into play, we all as investors had to level up our game. Once the CBOE, Chicago Board of Exchanges, and the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, got into the play, they got approved to get into this market, to this space. That meant we had to level up our game as the everyday investor, the average investor. We had to level up our game because the market was going to do things like this. And trust me when I say, when the big money comes in, there can be, quote unquote, manipulations to the space. And so you have to be prepared for that, because in a way they're trying to, weed out those who have weak hands, right? To play on those who have weak hands, to play on those who are emotionally not strong. And you have to be emotionally strong through times like this. But I'll get back to that in a second. I want to just talk about Bitconnect and, what happened with Bitconnect. Listen, they've been around for over a year, and this is a lending platform that has been around for over a year. I don't know what exactly, if it was 16, 17 months, over a year, but somewhere around that. And that's a long time for a lending platform. Huge success in a lot of ways, right? 1.5 million people on the platform are leveraging the platform and trying to take what they can from the platform. And everything comes to an end, especially in a lending platform. Nothing lasts forever is one of my takeaways, right? So nothing lasts forever, especially lending platforms. And I just hope that you guys learn from it. I'm sad. My heart definitely goes out for those people who lost money. A little disturbed by those who feel as though they can revel in someone else's losses. That to me is amazing, right? That people can revel in someone else's loss and feel the need to say "I told you so," or just kind of, what I mean, like they're rebel, they think that, oh, okay, that's cool, haha, I told you so, that type of thing like that. That's amazing to me. I've watched a couple of YouTubers um, that who had the courage to do another video. I mean, and we're talking about the promoters for Bitconnect, right? Who had the courage to do videos amidst all of this, anarchy and, the told you so's and the laughing and told you was it this and told you was it that, and calling it exit scams, right? And then in the end, those are just immature people. In the end, that's what that is. Nothing lasts forever. The best of the best things don't last forever. Great companies don't last forever. People who have great runs in sports, those runs don't last forever, right? Nothing lasts forever. All great things eventually will come to an end. And, make no mistake about it, Bitconnect helped a lot of people earn a lot of money, you know. But the most important thing from this bit connecting is the lessons, the takeaways. What did you learn from it? What did you learn from it? And again, my heart goes out for those who perhaps got into this lending platform a week, 2 weeks, a month ago, and were not, unfortunately, maybe educated properly, or worse than that, did not heed the words of those perhaps recommended this to them, right? Right. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. And unfortunately, some people did not heed those words. They didn't listen, right? I was listening to Mr. Walter the other day and earlier today, and when I hear people, refinancing their homes and emptying out their 401k, that's it's hard to hear. That's a sad thing. And I hope that but they violated probably the number one principle that comes to investing, period, but especially in the lending platform, especially in cryptocurrency. And that is they violated the principle of you never invest more than you're willing to lose. Than you're willing to lose. And unfortunately, some people, they didn't heed those words. They violated that principle, and they got caught up in that. And so, again, my heart does go out for those people, but I hope for them that they learn from it. I hope that they learn from it and they pivot and they move on. Um, Listen, once you decided to get involved in Bitconnect, you got involved in cryptocurrency, right? The minute you bought some Bitcoin to invest in this Bitconnect platform, you got involved in cryptocurrency. And what's amazing to me is, just the people, the naysayers, right, who probably not even in the cryptocurrency, who have nothing better to do with their time than to get on YouTube and to, have nothing to say but negative things and all these told you so's and that type of stuff like that. Probably not even into cryptocurrency. Probably not. And what they don't get, unfortunately, the immature people, that what they don't get is cryptocurrency is something that we should all be in together. We should be all in it together. We should be supporting each other together, not saying "I told you so," right? Because what the fundamental principle is being missed by those people who do that, the naysayers and all that type of stuff like that, is this is our chance to win. Cryptocurrency is our chance to win. It's our chance to play in a field that was traditionally only available to the ultra super rich. And that field in space is allowing you to let your money work for you. The vast majority of people work for their money. The vast majority of people go to work for a paycheck. And they trade their time for dollars, fiat dollars. The wealthy have their money work for them. The wealthy build networks that create assets that spit off cash. They have their money work for them, right? And this was an opportunity for you, for us. This is an opportunity for us to let our money work for us, to be able to play in the same field, play in the same arena as the wealthy. And so when you, naysayer, go out there and, laughing at someone or dogging someone out, calling them names, because a platform went down that they chose to participate in or that they chose to promote, you're hurting us. You're hurting us. You're not helping. You're not hurting the wealthy or super wealthy. You're not helping the old money who don't want us to win in this cryptocurrency space. You're hurting us. You're hurting us. And here's the thing that I'll say. Another takeaway is I'll say about promoters. I'm going to skip over one and just talk about promoters. And I hope the promoters, those who promoted the platform, I hope that they learned from that, right? I hope that they took some lessons away from this. And I applaud people like Trevon James and Craig Grant, Roy Murphy. I think he's Dr. Roy Murphy, who had the courage to do their YouTube, do their lives, their YouTube live streams, and deal with the heat. I applaud them for doing that, because it takes a lot of courage to do that. They didn't have to do it, and I know the top guy. My understanding is the top guy in quote unquote the Bitconnect didn't do that, and that's disheartening, right? Because you got to be able to take the heat. If you're going to go out and promote and take in how many whatever you made from promotions, from referrals, you got to be able to take the heat. And if you really believe in the platform or really believed in that platform, you should be able to stand tall and deal with it and take the heat. Like Dr. Roy Murphy did, like Trevon James did. You got to be able to do that. And my understanding is that guy did not. So that is sad. But listen, this is going to kind of come with the territory. Unfortunately, a quote unquote promoter, right? If you don't have, if your experience is marketing, and your experience is doing videos, if that's your experience, and you got hundreds of thousands of people who are quote unquote on your team because you're a promoter, there's a big difference between being a marketer and being someone who knows how to do YouTube video to building a team. Okay, we come from that background. We've been blessed to build at times the teams. Up to, at one time there's over 5,000 people, right? But you have to know how to handle that. You have to know how to deal with the team. You have to know how to deal with all that comes with having a bunch of people underneath you who are trying to win, just like who are trying to win, right? And who either you directly or indirectly brought on your team. That's what you did when you decided to become a promoter. You directly or indirectly brought people to your team, and you have to learn how to deal with those. And here's what I would say: if you didn't say enough, listen. I'm not your financial planner. Obviously, you never want to invest any more money than you're willing to lose. If you didn't say that enough, then that's a lesson learned. You have to say it every single time. And, you get some people on YouTube who want to say, well, I'm not a babysitter, I'm not there, this and that. But yeah, once you put that referral link down, you now become an adult babysitter. Yeah, you now own like an adult daycare center. That's the truth of the matter. And even though you may say it 3, 4, I would say it, I do say it 3, 4, 5 times in every video. Because I know, in the end, no matter how often you do it, there are going to be some people who still try to blame you. Talking about the money coming? Yeah. Yeah. So I one of our wins finally came in. I tell you what, transferring that money from like the Coinbase to your bank is like, Right. So I don't know. I guess it ended up taking 4 business days, just few thousand dollars, $3,000 off of some other win. But yeah, it takes forever for that stuff to come in. But anyway, so if you're a promoter, um, you gotta understand, you have to kind of understand that that's going to come as soon as you put that referral link down. That's the deal, and you have to understand there's going to be a certain amount of people who are, no matter what you say, are going to not listen, not heed the words, and then they're going to want to blame you, and you got to be prepared for that. Crypto Nick, young guy, teenager, Ryan Hildreth, they handled it pretty well. They didn't get the backlash, I don't think, that people like Javon James and Craig Grant got, but that's just, we live in the USA, so you understand how that goes. But you have to be prepared um, for that kind of stuff. And for the most part, I think those guys did well, and I hope they learn from it and pivot. I like what Ryan said. It's time to move on to the next thing. The worst, in my opinion, the worst thing you can do is to give up on the space, cryptocurrency space. I personally am not walking away from lending platforms. I understand the inherent risk that comes with them, and I'm prepared to deal with it. Right, I'm prepared to deal with the losses, and I'm prepared to deal with the wins, and I'm prepared to deal with people who say, "Well, you promoted this particular platform, and it's no longer around." I'm prepared to deal with that as well, and you got to be prepared emotionally. You got to be prepared literally, and that you have to have a team. Right, right. If you're going to be in business for yourself, you have a team. You got to have a team. You got to have an accountant, and you better sure have a lawyer, right? Because you have to be prepared, right? For these different type of things, you have to have advisors. You got to have a support system. You got to have a mentor, if you will, to kind of guide you through some stuff. You gotta have a team of support, a support team, if you will, to help you get through these things. And so I hope that they learn some things from that. I hope that they learn from the videos that I saw from people, from some of the promoters. It wasn't enough. You got to do it 2, 3, 4 times a video, and just understand that some people still aren't, right. Some people are still gonna, empty out their 401k. Some people are still going to invest more than they're willing to lose, and you have to be prepared to deal with that. And I watched some people do it, and they're sad, right? They were sad, and I get that, but I hope they rebound quickly. I hope they rebound quickly from that. Another lesson, another takeaway I think that you should definitely implement is, always take your initial money out. Don't fall in love with that reinvest button, right? That's what I love about the Oracle, right? The T Musk guys, like, listen, guys, money on the dashboard ain't money, and that's the truth. That's why I watched the guy, because listen, look, he comes from the real world financial world, and money on the dashboard is not money. Right? So you want to get that money out fast, right? As soon as you can. You want to get your initial initial capital, and you want to take it out. You want to get it out. You want to get it out every single day. And so that is a lesson. If you're able to withdraw your interest out every single day, take it out. Don't fall in love with that reinvest button. Just don't do it. After you get your money out, if you're fortunate enough to get your money out, then hey, it's house money after that. You can decide if you want to mess around with that reinvest button, right? Another lesson I'll add in, it's just kind of like a little extra bonus, is I have a thing, in these platforms, and we were in Bitconnect, and we were in USI Tech, and we had a strategy is that don't chase the game, have the game come to you. And what we mean by that is you start off with small investments. You start off very, very small, like $100, for example, and you test the platform. You see if the platform pays out every day, like they say. You see if they're paying the interest that they say. Don't just look at it and say, "Oh, there's some there. They paid me." Check that interest. See if the platform is doing what it says it's going to do. Write an email to support. See if they get back to you. right? Check out their Telegram, see if they're active. Check out their Facebook, see if they're active. Test out the platform. Some people coming into these lending platforms with $50,000, $100,000 of their own money, and to me that is a big, big mistake. It's a big mistake because you're chasing the game. You're chasing the game. You don't know what the platform is going to do, and you don't know how long it's going to be around. That's the biggest thing, is you don't know how long it's going to be around. And fundamentally, with the lending platform, is get in early, right? That's the biggest thing, is you want to get in early, because you just don't know how long these quote unquote lending platforms are going to be around. You have no idea. And so if you get into some platform that's 4 months old, and then you come in and you violate the number one principle, which is investing more than you're willing to lose. Now, look, if you're a big dude and you're good with losing 50 grand, I got you. I understand. But if you're not, and you're withdrawing your 401k and that kind of stuff like that, you're violating principles. Principles are there for a reason. They're there for a reason, because they withstand the test of time. This is not the first lending platform that's come and gone. This is HYIPs have been around forever. And I don't think this is a Ponzi scheme at all. They were over a year. Over a year. I was in a Ponzi scheme. It's impossible. It's impossible. But what happened is it ran its course. It ran its course, like all of them do. It's run its course. Stocks run their course, by the way. And we don't even want to talk about mutual funds. Like seriously. Like seriously. Like a legal way to take people's money. Like it's legal to take, 45% of your investment gone in quote unquote fees that they can make up at any time, and hide 95% of them. They hide that you don't even know you're paying. So, but, the whole Ponzi scheme, people, look, grow up, grow up. The whole, you got to get mature about money and understand the real deal about money. People with Ponzi schemes run around putting their money in the bank, put $1,000 in the bank, and then at the end of 12 months, they have $1,001, and they want to talk Ponzi scheme like they're brilliant. Like, oh man, that's a Ponzi scheme. I'm so brilliant. It's silly. Absolutely, 100% silly. Running around blindly, and totally not getting the whole thing that's going on with the banks and how that stuff is run, blindly, But anyway, so just understand that, you don't want to violate those principles. And this is just something that we did. Yeah, we're in Bitconnect. That's how much we put into Bitconnect. $100. $100. Because that's just something that we believe, Don't chase the game, let the game come to you, and it come to you. And so, that's just kind of one of those fundamental things you want to look at for the next thing. And I'm doing this video to, help you to get some takeaways, and also to understand, and I'll tell you that at the end, but now it's not the time to quit, quite honestly. But I think I covered all 5 of my takeaways. Best friend, never become married. Okay, never become married to one platform. That's the big one, right? That is kind of like the big one. And as a promoter, I don't know if Trevon James and Craig Grant were diversified. I'm sure they had altcoins, but never become married to one platform is having every single thing you own or whatever. Your whole cryptocurrency portfolio is wrapped up in Bitconnect. Your whole cryptocurrency portfolio is wrapped up in USI Tech. That's a big mistake, right? The wealthy, the smart, savvy investors, they don't have their money all wrapped up in one thing, and you shouldn't either. So never become married to one platform. But I just wanted to. I'm doing this video. I wanted to share a story, something that happened with me, that I hope that you can understand that this is just this is a setback. This is setting you up for a comeback if you happen to have lost some money to Connect. And what happened to me about, gosh, I want to say maybe 6 years ago, is I invested in a platform, okay, that was, in fact, let me see, how should I best say it? Well, let's put it this way: the owners ran away with everyone's money. The owners ran away with everyone's money, and in less than 30 days, lost several $1,000s in less than 30 days. Got into the platform less than 30 days later, 28 days later, something like that. Lost thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And I remember it was so crazy too, because it made news. Like, this platform made news. CNN and MSNBC made big time news. And at the time, I had a job, and I remember, I think I tried to get a couple people into the platform. I did not very many, maybe one or two at the most. And my buddy who got me involved in it, he got a few people in. He was really up on this platform, really excited about it. And we had got the news, and it was all over TV, and we had to go to work the next day, that following morning. And when I say national news, I mean CNN and CNBC, those type. And we came to work, and the coworkers, the people that wanted to say "I told you so," and man, those people, they dogged this guy out. Like, you know what I mean? They were hard on him, and I mean hard and laughing, at him, and this type of thing like this. And I just heard, now they didn't do that to me. They didn't do that to me, because they know that I know who I am, right? So they didn't do that to me, because I would have educated them really quickly, right? So they didn't do that to me, but my dude, they did, and like he never recovered from that. And I remember, like literally a couple of days later, I'm like, yo, got something. I'm excited about it. We need to do this. He's like, who am I going to talk to about it? I've talked to all my, I've talked to all my dudes about this thing, and this went down. And yo, man, I was like, listen, we have to get back on the horse. If we don't, man, we never will. If we don't, we never will. Quite honestly. And I did, and that turned into a multi-million-dollar business. That turned into blessing thousands upon thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. That turned into helping several people make six-figure incomes, right? But it was because I was willing to get back on the horse. Didn't blame this person or the CEO of that company, nothing. There was a federal lawsuit or something that happened, and I guess you could have, since the Alphabet Boys seized some of those money, you could put in to get your money back. You could put in to try to get your money back. I didn't put in. I just moved on. I didn't put in. I mean, they literally emailed you the application. I didn't fill it out. I just moved on to the next thing. And learned some things from that mistake. And that's what this is about. Learning and moving on. Don't give up on the cryptocurrency space. You have to make your own decision about lending platforms. I'm not giving up on the lending platforms. I understand the game, and I understand that you have to educate people on the game, and that's it. And people have to make their own decisions. Right? Here's the thing. I would do a video on a lending platform before I do a video on a mutual fund company. I would do a video on a lending platform before I do a video on a mutual fund company, because The mutual fund company wins. You don't. You don't. The exorbitant amount of fees that come with that is insane. Insane. And, we have been conditioned to almost to submission. We have been conditioned that it's cool to never read a book how to get out of high school. We've been conditioned, hey, yeah, it's cool. Let us tell you how to think. No. Let us tell you how to think. Let us tell you what to do with your money. Let us tell you when you're hungry. Let us tell you how much you're worth. Let us tell you when it's time to come in. And no, you can't go home yet. Let us tell you when it's time to go home. Let us tell you whether or not you can spend time with your family or not on vacation and when you can do it. Let us tell you that. Don't think for yourself. Don't be your own man or woman. Let us do that for you. You're not smart enough to do it. So yeah, if you ask me, would I promote a mutual fund company or a lending platform? I promote a lending platform because it's our opportunity. It's because it's our opportunity to win. Cryptocurrency is our opportunity to win. And so, listen, when and if the lending platform space comes to an end, then it comes to an end. Then I'm on to the next thing, right? But it's about being able to adjust, pivot, and move on. And so I hope that you guys got some takeaways from that. I hope that story, my story, helps a little bit. Again, yeah, I always thank Mr. Sean Walters for his education and his wisdom, and Oracle with Team Us. That's my dude. Love his insight on things and takeaways from that. And I'm always learning. My YouTube channel is new, but I'm always learning, and I learn from guys like that, who are providing some education behind what they're doing on YouTube. Not just doing a review of some ICO and then leaving a referral link. That's not helping the community. It's not helping the community doing that. So listen, guys, I just want to shoot this video. I know I went for a bit, but I just want to kind of give you my perspective, my business perspective on things. And again, my heart goes out to those who lost money in this Bitconnect. And I hope that you get back on the horse, quite honestly. And I hope that you get some lessons for what happened. And I hope that you will, in time, become positive, get back on that horse, and understand that this cryptocurrency space is a chance for us, the average Joe or Jane, to win. And don't let the committee out there called they steal it or take it away from you. Anyway, listen, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like what you heard, I definitely appreciate it if you smash that like button. And listen, we're new to the YouTube thing and YouTube channel, so I definitely appreciate your support by subscribing. Hit the notification bell for the next videos, and we shall see you guys soon. See ya.